Howdy friends, we're out in the bush outside of Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. So that's where I'm coming from this time in this video. So Q&A, to answer some of the questions that you've been posing over the last little while. Here we go. This is the Q&A for kind of your questions for the year 2015 closing up. Today is, what day is today? 12 January 2016. This wasn't so much of a question, but as a comment, and it had to do with the LVE ammunition, SCDS ammunition that I made a few years back for the 7.62x54R. And sorry, a little bit out of breath walking through the snow. He mentioned that he may have brought up a very good point, that the LVE ammunition uses a bimetal jacket on the projectile, which means you can lift it with a magnet. And bimetal simply means it's some form of a steel alloy, or a steel, I should say, jacket that has got a copperized finish to it. So it looks like a copper jacket, but essentially you can pick it up with a magnet because it's a steel jacket. And he voiced some very real concern so far as its ability to mushroom. And essentially said even though it's a soft point, lead-tipped, exposed lead-tipped bullet, that the bimetal will not expand to the point where you actually get a good, deep, well-expanded wound channel through the animal. That there does raise some ethical questions so far as using that ammunition for hunting purposes. So I'm going to say this needs more testing, guys. This needs more evaluation. That's a really good point. He may have brought up a really good point. So I'm not going to use that ammunition for hunting until I'm able to do some evaluation tests with it. I can tell you with absolute certainty that it punches through half-inch T1 steel like a hot knife through butter. So you might be onto something there. A 203 grain bullet's a big chunk of lead, and if it doesn't expand, it's not a good hunting bullet. But we'll look into that. Removing the stock case from the Resizing diet rifle jar. Have you considered patenting that system and selling it to RCVS for $1 million? No, I never thought about it. I don't think it's my invention, but I'd have no idea if there is a patent on it. I wouldn't doubt it if there was. But it would be a good idea for Lee or RCBS or Lyman to come out with a product that does this. It's a stuck case removal kit, if you know what I mean. It's about -35 right now where I am, and the eyelids are starting to freeze shut here, so I'll just move my way through this here. The best No4 Enfield, Savage quality. A proud American, took me to task on that and said that well, if they were inferior quality, it's because they weren't going to be used by frontline U.S. troops. They're going to be used by Commonwealth troops, so why bother spending the time on it? I disagree. I think this, I don't know. I don't know the answer. However, to say, well, we're going to purposefully not bother putting too much attention or care into these weapons because it's not going to be U.S. troops using it, where's the morality in that? An ally is an ally, a friend is a friend. That's all I can say about that. Suggestion, multiple quick videos you can watch on a lunch break, preferred over long videos. I have to admit that that's what people do. The successful channels do that, and so I guess that's maybe one of the reasons why I'm not a successful channel, really. I mean, compared to, say, Hickok 45, that is. And we're going to talk about him in just a minute. 2 million subscribers. That's a pretty successful channel. But multiple quick videos you can watch on a lunch break, that's a great idea. I should probably think about doing that. Because I've got some pretty long videos planned, and breaking them up will be inconvenient for the viewer that wants to see them all in sequence. But it's an idea. Rusty says, what about using a 7.62x39 for bear defense? That's interesting. It would never dawn on me to do that. There's a few reasons for that. It's because it's only a 123 grain bullet. Now you can get soft point bullets for that round. Purvey Partisan makes some ammunition. I got some testing to do with that ammunition, but it's a round It's a round nose soft point. I like the idea. For using that ammunition for thin-skinned game like a black-tailed deer or a mule deer or something to that effect, but it would not dawn on me to use a cartridge like that for bear defense, because it just simply does not have enough energy that it is delivering to the animal. So what do I mean by energy? There's a term that's referred to muzzle energy, and essentially it is the kinetic energy. It is essentially the kinetic energy of a bullet as an indication of its destructive potential. How much energy is it delivering to that animal? How much, so in a sense, stopping power. So if you look at the 7.6239, sorry if I got snot coming out of my nose. If you look at the 7.6239, it has a muzzle energy of 1,650 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, 1,650. If you look at the we'll look at the 30-30 with a 170 grain bullet. The 7.6239 is running 123. The 30-30 will say 170 grain bullet. The 30-30 is delivering 1,830. So 1,650 versus 1,830. That's a big difference, right? That's at least 200 foot-pounds of energy loss, according to the 7.6239. Everybody says the 7.6239 is essentially a 30-30. Winchester. No, it's not. It's not as powerful as the 30-30 Winchester. Let's look at the 303. The 303 brings into play 2,300 feet per sec, 2,300 foot-pounds of energy. Okay, so 1,650 versus 2,350 in a 303. I don't consider the 7.6239 to be a mid-sized cartridge. I put it in the same category as the 5.56 NATO. So would you take a 5.56 NATO out in the bush for the explicit purpose of bear defense? Now, sure, it's a semi-automatic rifle if you're running an SKS, and you can go bang, 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 bang without having to worry about working a bolt. There are advantages to that, but remember, you gotta break it down into three areas. What kind of shot am I going to take? It's either going to be one of three things. It's going to be a wounding shot, like a gut shot, which is going to kill the animal, but it'll be a slow, painful, terrible demise. It's not going to stop him right away. Not what you want when you got an animal charging at you, right? He's going to get to you if you gut shot him. He's still going to keep coming. Well, chances are if it's an angry grizzly bear, for example, that ain't going to stop him. Second type of shot is going to be a stopping shot, which is where you bust shoulder joints and main structural components of the animal, skeletal systems, that they need in order to be mobile, to move, like a shoulder joint or a hip joint or something like that. Or a spinal shot that'll just shut off the computer from the shoulders down. Those are stopping shots. They are a wounding shot, but they are also the mechanical systems of the animal have been interrupted. It's not able to have forward motion anymore, not without great discomfort. And the third shot is a killing shot. And I break killing shots into two. One shot where the animal goes down, like 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, dead, which is a headshot. Triangle of death, nose to ear to ear. That's the triangle of death, okay? Very, very difficult shot to take, and if you actually get one, you're probably more lucky than you are good. And the other type of killing shot is a killing shot would be heart, lungs, liver, okay? Or you're interrupting spinal tissue along the spinal column. They will die, but they're not going to die right away. You're talking a matter of seconds to possibly minutes, but they will die. But in that time, the attack will conceivably continue. Will the SKS and the 7.6239 do those things for you? If it's all you got, it's better than nothing, right? But there are better calibers for the purpose. I see any centerfire mid-sized cartridge like the 308, the 303, and up, but nothing below. That's my advice to you. What else do we have here? Oh, my camera is freezing up. I've got a couple of hot pockets taped to it so it doesn't freeze up, but I don't think it's working very well. The LCD screen is doing funny things. Okay, Cloud Sweeper 99 said on Twitter, I would like details on the rain and cold weather outdoor gear or brands that you prefer and where they can be purchased. Thanks. I am not brand myopic. However, what I can say up here is that there's a it's called Canada Goose, and they develop kind of like an Arctic jacket system. They range anywhere from a price of $400 to $1,000 for an Arctic jacket. The Canada Goose system. Check it out on Google. I think you'll find that the products are very, very convincing. And I don't, when it comes to cold weather gear, I don't think you can do much better. I'm not wearing one because I can't afford one. Well, I probably could afford one, but I'd rather spend my money in other areas. So I have a tendency to like this outer shell here is nothing fancy, but I am layered with wool. I always have a polypropylene long underwear, which is a moisture whisking type of underwear, something you want in cold weather. Remember, there's two types of cold weather: coastal cold and interior cold. Right now, I'm in a very, very dry environment, dry and cold. On the coast, it's very, very damp and cold. Two different types of winter condition that you need to dress for. I would not dress the way I am now if I was on the coast. I would be wearing Helly Hansen, an outer shell of Helly Hansen rain gear. And I would also have fleece, wool, which is what I'm wearing now, fleece and wool underneath the shell, and polypropylene underwear. I'm wearing the wool pants right now, and I always wear the wool pants in the wintertime. And I've got critters around me moving around. I'm convinced of it. There's hair in this area like I have not seen in years. And you should see the hair tracks in this area. But there's also a ton of coyote and wolf tracks. So where there's hair, there's coyote and wolves. And I'm not alone right now. So I'm scanning my 540-degree battlefield, as it were. So I hope that answers your question. I'm not brand myopic. Canada Goose outerwear is a very good idea. You get yourself wool pants. I don't care what the brand is. Wool pants are the cat's ass, and wool and fleece. All right, and layers. And definitely pick yourself up one of these. You can't go wrong. You can essentially wrap your whole head up with one of these. I never leave home without it. Dana, best home defense survival gun. Best home defense survival gun. So I'm not going to give you a gun per se, but I'm a real believer in pump action shotguns. And I would say something in the neighborhood of 410 gauge, or 410 caliber actually, or 20 gauge. Because you can run birdshot in those. Here's what I'm thinking. The reason why you might want to consider something to that effect: a relatively short barrel, or maybe one you can swap out for a longer barrel, so you can take it for small game hunting, bird hunting, or hunting hare. I mean, so far as a survival gun, there's nothing more, let's say, diverse in its application than a shotgun, whether it's birdshot, buckshot, or slugs. Now, for a survival gun, I say birdshot and a 410 or a 20 gauge shotgun, because if you've got kids sleeping in the neighboring rooms, you want something that's going to beat the crap out of your home invader, but not penetrate a wall and shoot one of your kids by accident. Right, so a birdshot of a light degree caliber like that is definitely going to make the bad guy take notice, and it's safer for close range work inside your home. I'm not saying that it won't penetrate a wall, but I'm saying that you're going to be delivering a lot less energy to something that might be on the other side of it. Terrifying concept or idea, but something to seriously take into consideration. And for survival, small game, like I say, buckshot, birdshot, slugs for dangerous game. You've got the whole thing all in one kit. It's just the application of the ammunition you're going to put through it for the intended purpose or the desired effect. Now, we're going to be talking about Hickok 45 and why he was removed from YouTube. I got a couple of questions on that, and I honestly don't know the answer. All I do know was that he apparently violated Google Plus terms and conditions. Now, as you recall, we didn't have a choice when it came to getting a Google Plus account. If you had a YouTube channel, you had to have a Google Plus account. There was no option. It was mandatory. So here's some of the terms and conditions that I need as a YouTube channel and a Google Plus channel owner, I need to be mindful of. And so these are some of the things that these are their terms and conditions. So only the site owner may log in and add posts. So if you've got multiple people accessing the account, uploading videos or using your YouTube channel or Google Plus account to make posts on your channel, that's a violation of the terms of reference. And so you could conceivably lose your channel over that because you're in violation of the terms of reference. So you can't share login authorities, okay? You can't. So if Hickok45 and his son, being from different residences, logging in using the same account, that could be what the problem was. I don't know. And none of these really, I think, would apply to him because it's one of them is content. The content can't be illegal in nature. You cannot use your Google Plus account to spread malicious, like things like viruses, getting people to go to websites that contain viruses knowingly. You can't use your Google Plus website to share hate speech, condone violence, or incite hatred. Personal and confidential information of other people, you can't post that stuff on your site unless, of course, you have their permission to do it. Child exploitation, spam, posting sexually explicit material, harassing or bullying people, violence, graphic or gratuitous, impersonating other people, like say that, let's say I opened up a Google Plus account saying that I was Tom Cruise in order to have lots of people come to my website. That would be that would be a violation of the terms of reference. Contests and promotions, using multiple accounts. I said that already. Oh yeah, you can only have one Google Plus account. You can't have more than one. Promote regulated goods and services, I should say regulated goods and services or illegal goods and services like cocaine, hookers, selling stolen material, promoting the gang life, being a member of ISIS, using it for their purposes. I mean, you can't do that. It's against our terms and references. Data, you can't identify any visitor on your page without their explicit permission. Having contests and ads may not display third-party advertising or a Google Plus page. I don't even know what that means. If you do anything, you can be suspended and terminated. Okay? And I don't think any of those would necessarily apply. I think it was the first one. He probably shared his account details with his son, which is enough, apparently. That's my guess. That's my educated guess. Lots of questions on zeroing the LVE Enfield, and I answered those and replying with private messages. Apparently, there are some situations that can't be fixed with just swapping out a front sight. So some people's rifles are shooting really exceedingly high at 25 meters or exceedingly low at 25 meters. I don't know what to do about that, folks. It's you may have a bent barrel or something to that effect. So actually, essentially, that was pretty much all of your questions. So this is a real short video, I guess. Well, it's maybe not that short. We're probably running a few minutes here. So we'll cut it short there. And I'll start making my way back to the car. Because it's cold. Minus 35 isn't that cold, but it's cold enough. One of the things that the locals that I've been talking to have been telling me is that generally we're looking at minus 40 to minus 50 right around this time of the year. I mean, it's been warm. So, minus 35 right now, but they've been seeing a lot of minus 20. They're used to minus 40, right? So it's not cold enough. It's colder for me than where I am, but yeah. Lots of larch here in these forested groves, very, very short stunted trees, which are probably at least 150 years old, but no more than 20 meters tall. Larch, pine, and spruce, and birch. And I could see lots of opportunities here for being able to set up a shelter using this material. It's going to burn hot. It's going to burn good, and there's lots of material here to build a shelter out of, keep a fire sustained. I could have some fun up here doing some survival training. Anyhow, that's it, folks. Rifle Chair signing out, and as always, Maple Leaf up.